All right, lads and lasses, welcome along. It's Opens Tuesday. Let's talk about the big topic that's in every project we'll all have to deal with at some point: documentation. No matter how much we try, no matter how much we want to avoid it, the gaffer, the boss, he's always going to say, oh, women can be just as demanding as men. I know, right? The gaffer is going to want documentation, aren't they? Deliver a project. I mean, all right, there, lads. Where's the documentation? Like, you know, right? So there was documentation. What have we done now? So traditionally, documentation is one of them like nightmare things. Yeah, it's dull to do. It's boring. Invariably, we miss something, and then let's be honest, it's forgotten somewhere. In it? That stack of documents, it gone somewhere. Anyone knows where it is when it's needed, right? So what can we do with Power BI? Is Power BI any different, or am I just wasting my life and my time learning Power BI? So I'm just still gonna have to do the same stuff I have to do anyway. Well, fortunately, the answer's no. Much as it pains me to say it, and honestly, it feels like a little bit of my soul dies every time I say it. Power BI is actually self-documenting, and having gone back and looked at Power BI projects that I've done even 2 years ago, I can understand what's going on. There's nothing in there that says, I don't understand that piece of code. And that's the biggest transition that you have to get used to with Power BI. So, for all the stuff we say with Dax and with this and with like M and Dax and being able to do them together and have these great visualizations that are really powerful and change the way your business works, that's backed up by the fact that really it's not difficult to understand what's actually going on within your data sets or within your models or within anything. And it's getting easier as well. So what I'll do is I said, prove how it's done. Let me show you. We'll come back. We'll have a look at what we did for data set 6, right? So whenever I'm retiring a data set, I'm doing some documentation on it. Yeah. A couple of things, nothing major, right? Because it's not a full client delivery. But the main bits that you need I'm doing. So I'll take you through what I've got and then I'll show you how to replicate it. Yeah. And then you'll be able to do that for anything that you do in the future. Excellent, right? Perfect. Tell you what, let's get out of Power BI and take it from there, champion. So here we are in Power BI desktop. Yeah. Now, this is what you've got all the time, isn't it? And the question you're going to ask is, wait, how do I understand what's happened at any given point here? And I've got a lot of metrics in here. So I've got all the measures that I've written. We've got the KPIs, these kinds of things. And all of this, you kind of want to be able to extract, don't you? Get it all, extract it, capture it somewhere. Now, in the early days, when I first started doing Power BI, and honestly, I didn't realize that some of the tools were out there. Probably, I'm hoping it was that. And I'm just, I thought best way to start documenting it was to really start documenting it. So putting in relationships, putting in things like that, copying and pasting the text, the codes into Word. Right? Honestly, give your head a shake. Right? It is so much easier than that. Right? What you want to use is something called Vertipack Analyzer. Okay, dead easy. I'll put a link to download it in the website and this, but I'll show you where you download it from. I'll show you what it produces, and I'll show you the output. And we'll go through the whole build of it. Right, but it deals with all that for you. The only thing it doesn't really do, the main thing it doesn't do is it doesn't give you your M scripts, right? But honestly, you didn't need your M scripts documented. When you look and you come through into your transform data, right? I've got these applied steps here, right? And at each point, I can see what they are. I would advise if you're doing like a big project, get in there, put some properties in and a description in for major bits of work here. Yeah. So, replaced errors here. So, removed error values and replaced with null. Yeah. So stuff like that makes sense to do. Okay. And the reason we do it is it puts a comment there so we can clearly see there's a comment. This is why it's happening. The other thing you might want to do is rename things. So while you're on the properties, you see you can give it a name. So this one's not too difficult, but you can see we've got a couple of change types in there. So give them a new name will always help. Yeah. So this is going to be what's this? User name, user score to number, convert user score from text to number for calculations. Hi. So it's basic, nothing too arduous. It's not a big deal, is it? But if you're sitting there going, right, if we do this, and if you think when I come back in 12 months and look at this, am I going to understand what I'm doing? And you can see it's even putting it. So when I'm hovering over it, it's giving me not just the name of what's happened, but the description. So I can see I've got no excuse not to know what's happening here. Everything in there is it's self-documenting. It really is. You can also, if you really want to, you might say, I'm going to go into the advanced editor and copy it all out and paste it into a Word document, right? Or into the Excel spreadsheet that we're about to produce. That's fine. If you want to do that, I'm not going to argue with you. I can understand. I can get behind it, right? Also note that all the comments are in there that we put in. So everything is in here. It is fully documented. There's nothing else that you're going to stumble upon and go, oh, you forgot the bit that's in the hidden file over there. That's not there in Power BI. Okay. So let's apply and close that. So we save them comments. They'll come through. Vertipack Analyzer, right? It's access. It's an external tool and it's part of Dax Studio, which is one of them external tools that you have to put in. So I'll take you where you get Dax Studio from. I'll take you where you download the tabular, not the tabular, the Vertipack Analyzer from. The two are separate, and the Vertipack Analyzer piece is actually some spreadsheets. And I'll then take you through how we do that. Right. So let's cut out to what the Vertipack file looks like for this spread for this report now. Right. Bearing in mind I haven't updated it since we've just made those changes, but I'll show you it now and then I'll show you the process to build it. So this is the Vertipack Analyzer. The main thing that you've got, and this is where it's most important to have, is this list of measures. Now it calls them DAX expressions because if you've got a calculated column or a calculated table, they're DAX as well. So they'll appear in here. But for this one, it's got a few of them. We can see they're all there. And what I've done just to make it easier, and the spreadsheet comes with this built in, is on the Vertipack Analyzer tab. You've got the format DAX expressions. So it sets them all up and puts them all in like the recommended format for DAX to make it even easier to read in the future. So you've got everything there about your DAX. What you've also got is information about all the tables that you've got. So the table structure, you've got information about the columns, you've got information about any partitions that you've built, hierarchies, relationships, and the compression. Okay. So there's a lot of information in a Vertipack file. And over time, we'll do some more sessions on Vertipack because being able to read a Vertipack Analyzer file is amazing. And it makes a big difference when you come to say, right, I've got some money, I've got some days of enhancement work or something like that that we can do. How much work do we need to do on this model? So this is where we've got all our measures documented. Perfect, right? So how do we make this? Where do you start? Let's get on with that then. All right. So it's our to our old friends at SQL BI, and honestly, I wish I got commission from these guys. The amount of seem to send people to them. Under their tools, you've got the Dax Studio. Open that in a new link. And we've got the Vertipack Analyzer. Verta Pack Analyzer. If you didn't want to give them any information, if you untick the boxes, you can then just download it. Otherwise, just need to put an email address in for them to send you information about you, about what's going on. Dax Studio, likewise, download it, install it. The VertiPack Analyzer download is a zip file, yeah, as opposed to like an installation. So as you can see, it's just got a number of spreadsheets in it. They're the different versions. The one we want is 2.0, right? So I've already copied it, put it in with my data set for into me over here. See, I've got a copy of it here. And here's the copy that I did before that we've got open. All right, so we're in Power BI Desktop. We've managed to install Dax Studio. So it appears now in our external tools menu. Got no external tools menu. You can click Dax Studio and here it comes. Nice, simple. It opens it up. Already connected to your model, right? Job's a good one, right? Just like VertiPack Analyzer, Dax Studio will have to do some specific sessions on this as well, right? Because there's a lot of stuff in here that's really useful to understand what's going on with your data set, with your model, debug any issues, and of course, prioritize any upgrades. But the bit we're needing for today is under the Advanced tab. And all you want to do is click on Advanced and then just click on the Export Metrics. Here it comes, gives it a GUID. You can see it's a VPAX file. A location, it's already in the right place. I'm just going to hit save. You see, tells you I've now exported your queries. Okay. Now it's done that, all I need to do is open up the file, the spreadsheet that I got from the VertiPack Analyzer. Yeah. So we've downloaded that. Let's double click on it and open it up. Okay. You see, it's got information in it already. Right. It's not the right information you need. Okay, it's like demo information. So what you want to do is go to the VertiPack Analyzer tab and click Open VP. Right, so you can see it's retrieving the data. It takes a while to go through and read it. And it will open it all up. And then you'll see, puts it in. And I've got me nice value set back. If we go out to the DAX tab, you'll see it's not all formatted as it was before. What did I say? You got in the VPAX, VertiPack Analyzer area and hit Format DAX Expressions. Hit the button, job's done. Right? Makes it much easier to read, much simpler when you come back to it. And after that, all you need to do is to remember to file save as. Yeah. And I would say save it as something, right? It makes a big difference because you want to be using this for every model that you produce, right? Whenever you're completing a Power BI file, publishing it up, make sure you've got a VPAX file at least, if not a saved copy of a VertiPack spreadsheet with that already opened up in it. Okay? It's not a huge piece of work to open it up and get it ready, but if people didn't know what they're doing, this is quicker, it's easier, right? So I've kind of, we've kind of gone through quite a lot today, right? A lot more than I'd wanted to, really, but it's still just scratching the surface of what this stuff does. So have a look, right? Make sure you get used to running VertiPack Analyzer with any files or anything you publish up to the Power BI service. And what you'll start to do as you go into it is you start to understand more about what's going on. So looking at the compression ratios, the way columns are being compressed, it really helps you understand as a developer, what am I doing? Am I making sense here? Is this good? Is this bad? Right? So have a great week. We'll catch you all on Friday. Take care.